Greetings all, this is Angel Shade and I'm back with the multiplayer report of now virtually ancient United Offensive, as well as listing the major differences in its comparison to the classic Call of Duty. United Offensive, the expansion pack to classic Call of Duty, visually is slightly upgraded compared to the original Call of Duty game, but the improvement consists mainly of more detailed textures, and I use term improvements very loosely. It took a Sturmgewehr buttstock to the face to notice the new texture, and somehow the need to be smacked in the face by a visual detail in order to notice it defeats its purpose. But the major gameplay difference, especially present in the multiplayer, is the change of the damage model. Original Call of Duty used the virtually identical damage system of Unreal Tournament, where damage is calculated depending on what body part you hit. In United Offensive, distance is added as a variable, meaning shots now have damage fall off, and the farther the target is, less damage it's going to suffer, along with the factor of what body part you hit. This means naturally all of the guns from original Call of Duty are also affected by this change, now having a maximum and minimum damage. I can't really be arsed to read out every single damage change made, so I'll just put up a list, and here you can pause and read it yourself if you're really interested. Noteworthy to mention is that pistols now graduated from being next to useless to piss-filled squirt guns with barrels on the wrong side. The United Offensive campaign is deceptively short. There are fewer missions, but they are individually longer and harder, and greater attention has been paid to blowing stuff up in a spectacular fashion. I realized recently that you can no longer purchase classic Call of Duty and United Offensive separately unless you buy it off of someone. The classic game and expansion are now always a package deal, and that's a pretty good thing really if you think about it, especially if you're into classic games. Multiplayer, however, is in pretty much the same boat as the classic Call of Duty. According to Steam charts, there is a monthly average of 30 people playing it, which is pretty pathetic. But you have to realize this is an 11 years old game. But you also have to keep in mind that the charts only keep track of the Steam players. This game's population is still mainly people who bought it and loved it long before Steam was released. But I believe it's neither the old graphics nor the age of the game that's the really issue of this game's population's decline, but the difficulty related to properly running this game on a new system. And what really royally pisses me off is that Infinity Ward shamelessly put the game on Steam without sorting out these issues first. That being said, the population is more or less the same as classic Call of Duty, meaning virtually dead, with random spurs of life. But like a headless donkey attached to a car battery, this game is still kicking. And you know what, I know I'm an old git and all, but even playing the game after so many years, it's a lot of fun. And thanks to some brilliant modders on many servers, there are bots in the game. Since Infinity Ward is too lazy to program their own bots because they fear their game being more awesome or something. Anyway, the bots are downright retarded, but they fulfill their role of being a target in between players that you run into. The game also features a game mode with vehicles, which in its time was an early attempt to draw in some Battlefield 1942 players. For what it's worth, back then it worked. You can drive tanks and jeeps, and there are bazookas and Panzerschrecks and Panzerfaust spawn on the maps to deal with them. It's still great fun just like it was 11 years ago, and while the game will never have the fame nor the player population it had back then, it remains as a solid classic that did not lose its touch. As an older gamer who played this thing when it was new, it's really satisfying to see the classic still living and refusing to go quietly into the night. Whatever you feel about the Call of Duty series, a good game lives while the bad game dies. And 11 years later, there are still over 20 servers paid for and running for this game, and you will find people on them, and that tells something. This was United Offensive Multiplayer Report. Thanks for watching. Until the next video.